Welcome, ghouls, ghosts, and mere mortals, to the Hidden Creek Manor. Now this year at the Hidden Creek Manor, we are upgrading our projection system in a pretty massive way. Originally, we bought a standard residential style projector. That's what we've been using for our projection show the last few years. It's done a decent job, but it's time to upgrade. And we found an amazing deal online. We got these two professional grade laser projectors. We couldn't pass it up. Had to go ahead and buy it. So because we're upgrading our projection system this year, I decided this would be a good opportunity to show you guys how to set up a projection system of your own, what projector to choose, how to map your home, how to build an enclosure, and so on. So this is going to be the first episode of that series, and we're going to show you guys how to pick a projector that meets your needs, a projector that will make your haunt that much more special and really upgrade you to the next level. So let's just jump straight into it and get to projecting. That works. Let's get to projecting. All right, so when we first bought our projector, I watched a lot of YouTube videos, I did a lot of research, and it can be pretty complicated and it can be a bit daunting to take this on, especially if you don't know anything about projectors or projection mapping. So if you're a beginner, you're in the right place. And whenever it's time to pick the projector that you're going to use for your show, I've kind of narrowed it down to three key factors to take into consideration: the distance, the brightness, and the costs. So we're going to break this up. We're going to go over how you can determine each of these categories to find a projector that meets your needs. So let's start off with distance. So the distance between your projector and whatever you're going to be projecting on, whether it be your house or garage or anything else, really is going to determine what type of projector you need, whether it is a standard projector or a short throw projector or an ultra short throw projector. Now there's a couple different ways that we can determine this. First, we can use the throw ratio. Now, hold please, I'm gonna read to you the definition of the throw ratio. A projector's throw ratio is the distance from the projector lens to the screen divided by the width of the projected image. Expressed as a formula, throw ratio equals D divided by W. A lower throw ratio indicates a short throw or an ultra short throw projector, which can create a large image from a closer distance, while a higher ratio denotes a long throw projector that needs to be further away. The ratio is crucial for determining where to place your projector to achieve a desired image size in a given room. I don't know about you guys, but that sounds very complicated and a bit overwhelming. So I'm going to simplify this, make it much easier to understand. So first thing you want to do is you want to measure the whatever it is that you're going to be projecting on. Once again, whether it's your house, your garage, so on. Our house, we'll just round it out, say it was 50 feet wide. So I know I need something that can project 50 feet. So when you start looking at throw ratios, you're going to see different numbers. You know, it could be a 2 or a 1 and so on. And really, this just determines how far the projector needs to be away. So if, say, the projector has a throw distance of 2, if my house is 50 feet wide, that would mean I need to double that distance to get the projector to go 50 feet, which means I would need to go 100 feet away from my house. Now, I don't have that kind of room. So a standard projector wouldn't work for me, which is why we went with a short throw projector. Typically, short throw projectors or ultra short throw projectors will have a much smaller distance, whether it's a 1 or a 0.5. So if it was, say, a 1, I would have to place my projector 50 feet away from my house, which is about where I have my projector now. If it's, say, a 0.5, I would only need to go 25 feet from my house. So it's not as complicated as it sounds. You know, it's just one of those things where it just lets you know how far away you need to go. So you can measure your house, you can measure the distance and kind of figure out roughly where you need to place your projector. But I'll tell you guys a secret, something that's a lot easier. Just take your projector outside, plug it up, and just walk in your yard further and further away from your house until the whole house is lit up by the projector. Now, I usually just get a white image just to display on the projector. That way it makes it much easier to tell. But once you've determined the distance that you need to be from the house, now you know if you need to get a short throw or an ultra short throw or a standard projector. Now, different projectors will have either built-in lenses that cannot be interchanged. Some more high-end projectors will have lenses that can be switched out. So even if it has a standard lens, you might be able to switch it out for a short throw or an ultra short throw. If you're just getting started with this, I would probably lean more towards something cheaper and easier to use, something that probably has a lens that's built in, but you can spend quite a bit more money and get projectors that have interchangeable lenses. So now that we've determined the distance that we need to place the projector away from the house, it's time to move on to the next item to look at, and that is the brightness. So projector brightness determines how bright the image will be that it projects onto your surface. Now, this is measured in lumens, and it's pretty simple. The higher the lumens, the brighter the projection. Now, once again, price, we'll get to that in a moment, but the higher the lumens, typically, the more expensive the projector is. So you don't just want to jump straight into something that's, say, 6,000 lumens. You probably don't need to do that right away. So you can start off with a much lower number, and it also depends on the amount of ambient light that you'll be dealing with. Now, if your home is in a dark area, there's not going to be a lot of street lights or not a lot of haunt lights whenever you put on your show, then you can go with a much lower lumen number. But if you're like us, and you have a haunt that has a lot of lights and there's a lot of light pollution getting onto the house, then you're going to need a higher lumen number in order to properly project onto your home and really make that show stand out. You also want to take into account the materials that your house is built out of. For example, if you have, say, dark brick, it might not project as well on dark brick as, say, like a really light colored siding. Our house, for example, we have a mix of siding, rock, and shutters. Our siding is a light gray, no problems there. Our shutters are black, and they're not even like a reflective black that you can use for projectors. So they just kind of soak in all of that image, and it doesn't do a great job projecting on those shutters. We also have stone around our front door, and the stone, it just soaks up that light as well, so we don't get a lot of image projected from that stone. So you really want to take into account not only the ambient light around your home, but also the materials that your home is built out of and how bright of a projection you will need to actually see those images on whatever surface you're working with. And the third item that you want to take into account whenever you're trying to figure out what projector is going to meet your needs for your haunt is the price. Projectors are not cheap, and the higher the lumens, the more expensive. The shorter throw distance, the more expensive. There's also different types of projectors. There's LED and there's laser. So price is going to be a huge indicator. Now, if you're just getting started, this is something new to you, I would not spend a lot of money on this. I would go on the lower end, get a cheaper projector, just to kind of learn how everything works, see if it's something that you want to continue with. I don't want you guys to invest a ton of money into something that you decide that you don't want to do later on. So this is definitely an investment, but also something that you probably don't want to jump straight into full speed ahead. Now, I found that I can usually find some pretty good deals online, whether it be like a Black Friday deal or something on eBay or Marketplace or another site where people can sell their old items. I've bought 3 of our 4 projectors on eBay, and so far, I don't have any wood to knock on stone. We haven't had any issues, but there's a lot of good deals out there. A lot of people, they're just getting rid of projectors. Businesses, a lot of times, will be getting rid of projectors, and you can get some amazing deals online. So I wouldn't jump straight into buying a brand new 6,000 lumen short throw projector. I would take my time, do my research, and see what you can find that meets your needs without breaking the bank. I gave you the 3 key things to look for. I'm not going to tell you guys what projector to buy. I'm not enough of an expert to really go into that. But what I will share with you guys are some resources that I found useful and what really helped me in determining the projector that I was going to use. First off is projectorcentral.com. They have just about everything you need to know about just about any projector that's out there. You can look up the different projectors that you might be interested in. You can find the throw ratios, the lumens, reviews. You can compare them against other projectors that you might be looking at as well. So definitely check out Projector Central. And then there's 3 different YouTube channels that really helped me out. There's tons of YouTube videos out there for projection mapping. So check out a bunch of them and learn as much as you can. That's what I did. But some of the ones that have really helped me out are LumaBox. They actually have a really good step-by-step guide to kind of do what I'm going through now, choosing the projector, the enclosure, and so on. So you might want to check out that LumaBox series. Another YouTube channel is called Break It Yourself. He also does projection mapping. He normally does Christmas shows, very similar to what we've done, where he started off with a residential projector and has upgraded, and he just kind of documented his journey and some of the things that he's done. So you might want to check that out. And then another YouTube channel is called The Hookup. It's just projection reviews, all about projectors, and a lot of information and educational series on how you can learn more about the projectors that you might be interested in. So you might want to check out one of those channels or even that website. So hopefully this video has been helpful to you guys. Hopefully I've kind of given you some tools to help you go down the right path to choose the projector that works best for you. I'd love to know about the projectors that you guys choose. I would love to see any shows that you create. So please share anything and everything that you want to share with us in the comments section. But also, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. That way you help the channel out and you can stay up to date and be notified with everything that we're doing here at the Hidden Creek Manor. So we're going to go ahead and wrap things up for this video. Happy projecting, and we'll see you in the next one.
Congratulations. You made it to the end of the video. As a reward for sticking around, you may now watch one of these 2 videos. The choice is yours, but choose wisely.